Beside the light of a flickering flame, the man lay, waiting. A tap on the window. His eyes locked onto the bird, staring in, unblinking, as if gazing into his soul. He knew what this meant. His fate was sealed.
Ravens and crows, pitch black birds that lurk on the edge of the human and the spiritual. They appear above battlefields, wait on gallows for the next meal, and feast upon the fallen. In British folklore, to see one was an omen, a sign that death was already near. Among the ancient Britons, the crow stood at the threshold, a shadowed presence, mysterious yet ever watching, a silent observer with uncertain intent. Their beady eyes followed, and you might feel it too, that something unseen is watching you back. For some, this wasn't just superstition. The crow could be a shapeshifter, a spirit in disguise, a messenger or a warning. This belief reached its peak with the Morrígan, the Celtic goddess of war, fate and death. She took the form of a crow, soaring over battlefields, foretelling ruin and bending destiny with the beat of her wings. When crows gathered above the dying, it begged the question, was this merely a bird or a sign that your fate was already decided? These weren't just stories, they were reflected in ritual, in sacrifices and in burials, where the crow spirit was believed to carry messages between the worlds. And as war and disease swept the lands, its presence became a constant, a familiar figure in times of loss. Even centuries later, the symbolism persists. King Charles II was even told if ravens ever left the Tower of London, the kingdom would fall. To this day, their wings are clipped, ensuring the omens stay grounded. But why did this bird, above all else, become such a potent symbol of death? Though often spoken of together, crows and ravens are distinct. The ravens larger, heavier, more guttural and cool, but both share the dark allure, their intelligence, their scavenging nature, their place at the edge of our lives. Crows still carry that omen today. A group of them is called a murder, a reflection of our oldest fears. And the raven, immortalised by Edgar Allan Poe as a symbol of loss and mourning. They live among us, but always watching from the fringes of our society. And perhaps their behaviour explains the myths. Since the dawn of agriculture, humans saw crows as both rivals and thieves, raiding crops, feeding on opportunity, planting an early seed of mistrust for crows and ravens early on. As scavengers, they were drawn to death, circling battlefields, lingering near gallows, appearing when life slipped away. To our ancestors, this could only mean one thing. They were gatekeepers of the other side. But the truth runs deeper. They're thinkers. Amongst the most intelligent creatures on Earth, they use tools to communicate, even deceive. They evolved to survive beside us, to adapt to many of the same challenges that we adapted to. And perhaps we saw in their intelligence, in those sharp black eyes, something familiar, something almost human. And perhaps it's this almost human quality that we couldn't trust, that there was something deeper to this dark watcher. And maybe that's why they became symbols of one of life's greatest mysteries, death. Their dark myth, however, led to persecution. The raven was nearly wiped out in Britain, hunted for its meaning. Today, they remain in fragments, but are slowly recolonising the British Isles. Among the many myths of the raven and crow, it doesn't just represent death. It represents the liminal space between. Its presence a reminder of the questions we still can't answer about what lies beyond life. And maybe the folklore lingers because that same fear and uncertainty about our future still lives in us, about when we will draw our final breath.